What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Trash Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Nick. Tonight, our guests are actually all the dudes in Sarcosuchus, not just Dylan. So, like always, I'm going to have the chat fill up a little bit, invite all three of them in, and we'll start the interview. Like I said, we have almost a full schedule this week, basically. Thought I lost the footage of yesterday's live with Realms. Actually, it got archived, so I will be posting it, editing and posting it afterwards, after this interview. Looks like Vlad's in on the, or nope, Dylan's in. So we get him in first, or just get the main page in first. Circle. All right. Oop.
What's up?
There we go.
All right.
Straighten this ring light. All right. We're up. Let's see which is Dylan or no, it's Vlad. Okay. Yo. All right.
Gents?
Where's Skylar?
Question.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably kissing his Hannah Montana guitar or something. I don't know.
I mean, he's got to hurry up, man. If he's gonna spank it to that, we got a show here.
Yeah, he just joined. Yeah.
Up.
This kid needs 2 seconds.
All right. Fair.
Up. Okay, there we go. Invite him when he's ready.
There
we go.
There he is.
So, all right, now that I got all you guys on here, now if you guys have been watching this or following this, what I do is with these interviews is go from day one to present day. So for each of you, what was the initial spark for you with music in general, not just heavy music? You could segue it or progress it into heavy music though, if you'd like.
All right. I don't know who wants to go first.
Take it, Dylan.
I'll go first. All right. I'd say around like age 10, just being exposed to like Beatles records and Rolling Stone records. Like my dad's a huge music fan, and I have a Colombian background, so just always listening to like Latino music and stuff like that. Yeah. So like super like my parents used to have like parties all the time, like when I was a little kid. So like it's always been a thing in my life. As far as heavy music, I feel like around middle school I got super into like metalcore, like As I Lay Dying, Killswitch Engage, stuff like that. Yeah.
What year was that?
For middle school for me, let's see, like 2013, 2014 is when I got into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a culture barrier for me because I was living in Colombia at that time. So it was like all Spanish kids,
Oh shit.
Like we would get all the music late, So we're always like a few years behind in terms of what was out. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And you can go, Vlad.
All right. I've kind of been in this since day one. My dad's also a metalhead. My mom likes punk rock, so I was basically born into this. Some of my earliest memories, I was about 3 or 4, and my parents showed me the Muppet Show that had Alice Cooper on it. And then that same day, my dad later showed me the Iron Maiden Number of the Beast video. Had all the, Universal monsters. It had Godzilla in it, and Godzilla is my shit. Still is, was as a kid. So between those two videos that day, like I was hooked. And then, I also have very early memories of going to like Sinclair's pub in, I believe that's in West Babylon. I would see like local bands like the Blackout Shoppers. My dad's in Two Man Advantage, so I would see them pretty frequently as well. So, and there's thousands of records in my house. So, over time I just shuffled through them and I kind of realized that this was kind of music was it for me, you know?
Damn. Dude, like, Two Man Advantage used to play in the pit production shows a lot. Believe it.
Yes, they did. Uh, yeah, I think Jay and my dad, uh, they go pretty far back as far as I know. So yeah, they used to frequent that scene quite a bit.
I miss Jay. I haven't seen that guy in a minute.
We saw him at one of our shows at one point. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see for him to come out.
All right,
So
word.
looks like I'm up. I didn't really care much for music as a kid, aside from like a couple of video game soundtracks, and then I got to middle school. I started taking a little bit of an interest in it. I took a music class just because I thought it would be easy, and then seventh grade, my music teacher was out for she ended up being out for a while, but we didn't think much of it at first. We just thought she was sick. So by the time we got left with a permanent sub, she had like nothing to go off of. She had to make plans from scratch. So she was like scrambling to find work so she could give us until she could make like long-term unit plans. And then she saw like guitars in the back of the room, and she had to get permission from the school board because guitars are expensive. You can't just let kids grab them whenever. So she started teaching us a guitar unit, and I loved it. It just felt really natural to me. So after the unit ended, I had my parents buy me a cheap guitar, and I started learning on my own. And I've got other musicians in the family, so there's no surprise to them in the family. My uncle gave me a Strat like 2 weeks after I started playing, and I just stuck with it and had a ton of fun with it over the years. I didn't really get into heavy music as a regular thing until high school, but I liked a couple of heavy songs in middle school because I played Saints Row 2 a lot, and that's something that has a great soundtrack. It's just been a ton of fun over the years.
All right, all right. So, is Sarcosuchus all of your first project?
No.
No, half of us were actually in a hardcore band before this from the island. Dylan was in a death metal band in Colombia before this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this isn't a first project for any of us involved.
Okay. Can you each give me, within timeline order, if you can remember that, of your way up to Sarcosuchus?
Okay. You can start, Black.
So back in college, because this kind of goes back a while. Like right before I went away, we started Sarcosuchus with the first singer Ben, the first guitar player Mike, and myself, and then we were just writing stuff while I was away at college, and then I came home I came home during April of 2021, I want to say, and I ended up meeting Dylan just like total coincidence. We were all hanging out, and Dylan came around with our friend Riley, and he said he was looking for a band, and we had been looking for another guitar player as well. So we were like, all right, that's perfect. Let's do this. And then our original singer Ben, he knew a drummer. That's how our OG drummer came to be in the band. And then we were just like writing. Everybody was together. I was on FaceTime, and eventually, when I had come home, the first hardcore band that I was in, Ineptitude, needed a bass player. So then I ended up playing with Skylar. So Sarco kind of became my side project. And then we were writing stuff here and there, had one or two songs, and then Ineptitude breaks up in March of 2022, something like that.
That was it.
Yeah. And then so we eventually grabbed Skylar after Ineptitude is over, and then that's the lineup. We started writing stuff. Some of the material came from old Ineptitude songs. Some of it, most of it was new for Sarco. So really, it was over the course of want to say a little over a year before we started like playing shows, like between conception of Sarcosuchus into finally playing our first show in May of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, and granted, it had a different name
Yeah,
when I joined.
it did. It was honestly originally kind of like a hardcore punk rock band, but once Dylan and Rob, our first drummer, joined, things started becoming more metal because that was just what we were all into, and
Yeah.
and over time as the sound evolved, we were just said, you know what, we're gonna do metal of some sort. We changed the name to Sarcosuchus, and that was that.
Yeah.
I don't remember when the sound and name change came.
That happened. Well, I had a side project I was trying to lift off, and I was playing around with that name. And then Ben was like, "Nah, that sounds really cool. We need a new band name, essentially." And so we just used it for this band. And that was like right before Skylar joined. So like that's like 2021. Like we didn't last very long with the original band name, which was Stiglitz.
Yeah, we
Stiglitz.
named it after Hugo Stiglitz from Inglourious Basterds. We were all fans of that name, of that movie. So we're like, all right, that's fine. But we needed something a little more menacing when we changed from punk rock to death metal. So it's kind of what ended up happening.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was actually playing hockey, and then I got the message that they had changed the name. I'm like, okay, what the hell is Sarcosuchus?
There we go.
See, I make fun of people for saying it wrong, and I didn't know what the hell it was when Dylan had changed it.
Whoops.
I have heard your like seen the name like I don't know how long ago, and I'm like because some people would say like what you said. I can't even fucking say it, but yeah. But yeah, I was just like, how do you say this? And then somebody said like actually Dylan, you said it correctly towards me. And obviously, kind of like Sarcosuchus. I'm like, oh, that's how you say. Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah, our boy Craig's in the chat right now, talking about one of our shirts where we have a shirt that came right from this conundrum of like bands being like, "Yo, a sarcophagus, Sarcosuchus, or whatever," and so it's like a parchment like beige shirt with like a Merriam-Webster style definition, and instead of a definition, it's just like the H is fucking silent, whatever, just grilling people for. I mean, to be fair, it's a it's not an easy thing to
Not an
say,
easy
but
word. It's
that's what
like trying to say Sanguisugabog the first time.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like
Sanguisugabog.
Sanguisugabog, and I'm like, how do you? All right, just
Yeah,
this band's dope. Gore through the chest, whatever. I'm like, all right.
Bro, Cody, we played together. How do you still pronounce it wrong? Come on, man.
Well, that's bad.
yeah.
Shout out
That's
Black
funny.
Sun. Those guys are badass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, those guys are great. Great.
Skylar, we didn't go through your whole thing, did we?
No, not
Oh, no,
yet.
like,
Yeah, I met Dylan in 2018, I think, in college, and
Yeah.
then 2019, Ineptitude started my old hardcore band. That went on for a couple of years, and then I kind of just got absorbed into this band when Ineptitude broke up. There's not much to it other than that hasn't been said already.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
For me, I was in a band in Colombia right around like middle school, and it was like I can't even remember properly because it was like 14 or 15 at the time. But basically, it was like I want to say like an alternative rock band, and the only reason I joined was because I was a gringo, as they would say. I was American,
Oh.
so I could sing English lyrics. I couldn't sing for shit, man. Like I was like, no, I like had like not even an octave range or whatever, and I'm like bullshitting these lyrics. Cover band, mind you, right? And then that band became a metalcore band. That's how I got into metalcore, and I picked up guitar, and I ended up learning like As I Lay Dying riffs like in like months, because around that point I was already playing guitar. but I wasn't really playing metal. I was like playing Beatles stuff and like punk guitar and shit like that. And then after that, through my high school bandmates, I changed schools. So I met this other guy who was in this like local scene, and they broke up. And then he like handpicked me to join his band, but I never met him personally, so I don't even know how he heard of me. But that band was like a melodic death metal band, and they're still running in Colombia. I forget what our band name was, right? Like when I was in the band, but right now it's a Disillumination, and they're actually signed to Mutilation
Oh,
Records.
fuck.
So they're based out of Queens. Yeah, you heard of that record label?
Yes.
Yes. So they get a lot of they're Colombian record label based out of Queens, and they have like a huge you know catalog of really cool bands. They got signed out like last year. I was in that band for a hot minute, and then I moved back. So then I got out of the band, and I haven't been in the band since meeting Vlad.
Okay. Okay.
So it was just like, yeah. So at that point, music was like I would barely play guitar. Like every time I'd be like, "You want to start a band?" Everyone's like, "Bands are gay," you know, like bands are dumb. Like no one wants to play bands. So I was like, whatever. And then it took a pandemic for me to meet these two. So
All right. Okay. Okay. So,
yeah.
my question to you guys is, it seems like you guys somewhat come into like meet in a middle ground somewhere, but have different influences. What would each of you say is your top 5 major influences?
Like genre, or
Vlad's
band.
looking down there like, God damn it, I listen to so much shit, I have to narrow this down.
Dude,
Right.
if you saw the CD racks in my house, you would understand why this is tough.
I believe it.
Oh man, I'm going last. I'm going last. I
All
need to
right.
think on this.
Okay.
Yeah. But do you mean like bands or genres in general?
I would say you could pull from multi genres, dude. Like, um, yeah, you could pull from multi genres. Like I was like basically a metalcore vocalist mostly, done a whole bunch of different shit. But then I would say like I could say one of my influences as far as intensity wise is DMX.
Fair. Yeah. Fair. Hmm.
For me, I think I
That's a
have to go
tough
with
one.
Sanction, Mercy Blow, Annotation of an Autopsy, or like early Chelsea Grin. Um, who else? Probably Jukai.
Oh God, he said
A lot of different
annotations of
stuff.
July. Jesus.
Either
That
meth,
that's
tape.
that's really good. That's a really really good combination. Jukai and annotations. I love that you said annotations of an autopsy.
I've
Like
been
I only got to see them
huge
once.
on them for years.
Somebody told me once, they're like, "You want to hear the song?" I'm like, "Okay." There's like it's called "Welcome to Sledge City," and I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "Whoa, all right, this is heavy as fuck."
Yeah, that's basically my reaction when I found it, like probably close to 10 years ago now.
All right,
I'm gonna wing it.
so you're gonna
I'm
wing
gonna wing
it?
it. There's
All right.
there's too many bands, but let's in no particular order. Pink Floyd. Um, Mastodon.
Ooh,
I'm wearing Mastodon shirt, like I
hell
have
yeah.
to. Fucking Gojira.
Yes.
Gojira is huge on me. Um, the Beatles.
Nice.
Beatles for sure. That one. Without the Beatles, I don't think I would have touched the string, let alone look at one. So, fifth band. It's tough. Beach Boys.
Oh wow, that one's interesting, and I can't. That
Yeah.
all right? That's good. That's cool. Vlad, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah,
you could throw like any of you could say two men of that. No, I mean like yeah, maybe. Well, that's up to you entirely.
yeah. I mean, I would say if we're gonna talk about the 5 bands that influenced me the most, I'd probably have to go with Neglect. Definitely Dead Guy, Fear Factory,
Ooh, Okay.
Nail Bomb.
Wow.
Who would I throw at number 5? I'd have to say Judge for number 5.
Nice. Nice. That one's very interesting. That's a combo that's very interesting. Jesus.
That's pretty much my entire thing is math, like mathcore and industrial metal are like my top 2 favorite genres.
So now, Vlad, I actually do have a question for you since I don't know how old you are, but you were probably pretty young going to In the Pit shows. Um, did you go to In the Pit shows at Finn's, but did you also go to them at Almost Home?
No, I didn't make it to Fins or Almost Home. I'm 22 for reference, and so while my dad took me to a ton of shows that I probably should not have gone to. I've been to a couple Crazy Donkey shows. Uh, no, definitely some of the more tamer stuff. Like I wasn't seeing like On Broken Wings at the Crazy Donkey. My dad had some sort of responsibility when taking me to shows, just a little bit.
True, true. Well, it's valid. No, I'm wondering because like I used to, I was from the same town as Jay, and my first project was everybody was from the same town as Jay in Lindenhurst. Um, and we were called, well, the acronym DOS stood for Demise of Sanity. Wasn't my choice. I joined the project. They took it after a Black Label Society album, right? I was like, all right. And I didn't even know, like, I remember I used to play in the pit shows all the time. Like, there was Almost Home Cafe in Bayshore, obviously, Finn's Pub, which is Shakers now. Um, yeah, I wonder I don't remember playing with Two Man Advantage. I don't know. But also, like I said, wasn't the first singer. I was basically the last out of, they had an original vocalist and he went to bass. They got this guy Chains, who ended up doing vocals for this death metal band called Fecal Corpse. And then I joined, and then we started playing all these other shows because they would just really play like in the pit production shows and stuff. And then I expanded. There was a booking company back in the day called Die Trying, got us on Suicide Silence, got us on a Too Pure to Die show. Well, Too Pure to Die was on that. Stick to Your Guns, that's what it was. And
Right.
Deicide, even though Deicide, there was like nobody at the Donkey at all, which was upsetting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Very
Yeah,
upsetting.
it was. What year was that? It was 2006. So one of my favorite songs from them was "Sacrificial Suicide."
Mm.
Jack
Mm.
Jack Owen, I think, just joined from Cannibal Corpse, and
Nice.
I was like, all right, this is cool. Members of Dying Fetus and Suffocation had this project called Criminal Element. They played too. That was cool. I talked to the old vocalist of Dying Fetus, Vince. He seemed like a cool dude. But Glenn Benton is the most interesting guy. Very interesting dude. Like you could not hear guitar. You heard bass and drums, and this guy's like, put up the bass more, and I'm like, I can't even tell that this is Sacrificial Suicide. This is this is nuts. This is bad. And I remember, I think the next year I saw Cannibal Corpse. I went to the city. My friend's like, I got a ticket. I'm like, all right. We're on the train on the way there. I see one of my friends from high school. He was with somebody else. He was with actually somebody when we graduated with, his older brother. He's like, oh, I know Pat O'Brien. I'm like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, no, he doesn't. And I'm like, no, there's no way this guy knows Pat O'Brien. I'm like, all right. He's like, I used to live in Tampa. I'm like, that's cool. And then we get to Irving Plaza. We get by the merch table, and the girl that's running the merch table is like, Tommy. I'm like, no fucking shit. Maybe he does. So, like, what was it? It was Psyop Office,
Nice.
The Red Cord, Job for a
Fuck yeah.
Cowboy,
Ah, fuck.
Behemoth, and then Cannibal Corpse. Then they finish the set, and then just Pat O'Brien comes by the merch booth. He goes up to Tommy. He goes, Tommy. I'm like, no fucking shit. All right, okay. And I guess there was a bar next to Irving, and we went there. And he was just telling us stories of like how he shit himself in the Czech Republic and shit. And then I told him like, yeah, Jack went to fucking, D-side. He's like, oh, I fucking hate Glenn Benton. He told me a story of like, he's like, he goes to the same bar as I do, and he comes in with his fucking fat girlfriend, goes in the bathroom and does heroin. I'm like, what? Right. So
Sick.
yeah, it was very interesting experience. It was cool to meet Pat O'Brien, but yeah, enough digressing in the conversation. If each of you got to put together your own, and I gave you 10 artists. Now, it could be multi-genre. It could be a mixed bill. Like you could, and it could be dead or alive. You could be like, I want Prince on it, and be like, then I want, Ingested, or like something like that. Just yeah, whatever you want. Whoever wants to start. I know that Vlad's like brain is computing right now, very hard. It's great though, because then it waits every time he waits till the end. He just has these interesting things. All you guys have had very interesting ones, so let's keep it going. Why did my light purple?
Whoa.
Hold
Man.
fuck on. I didn't even touch anything in my ring light, but anyway, let's go.
Yeah, my cat's
Fuck, these
has to
fucking.
be let in.
It's okay. I just got bombarded for attention by the studio dog, so.
Animals are dope.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we love furry animals. That's why we have Dylan in the band.
Oh God. So.
No comment. Fucking comment.
So if I gave you guys your dream festivals with 10 artists, who would they be? Whoever wants to go first, who's ever ready, you guys can take a minute. Okay.
Well, I think I'd go with Disembodied, Mercy Blow, Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza, Sanction, Annotation of an Autopsy.
It's five. Five
Yeah,
more.
it's 5. Halfway. Shit. There's just so many good bands out there.
Hmm.
Confusion. Those guys are cool. Eternal Bleeding.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Necropia, because I've seen those guys a bunch of times in high school. They're always super cool.
Shout out to me.
To me, it's super nice.
Super nice guy.
Two more. I have on my wall. I'd probably go with Iron Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Iron Reagan's so
Love Iron Reagan.
And Municipal Waste, Double Tony.
All the Tony.
Tony Foresta. Love his vocals.
Dude's great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a good combination, bud. All right, who's next?
Fuck.
I'm so bad at these. I can't be put on the spot like this.
Yeah. You just gotta wing it. I think whatever comes first is the right answer, right? You know.
I feel like when our friends ask us, "Hey, what are your top 10 of this?" It's like, you come back to me in about 3 days so I think about
Yeah,
this?
even in private conversations,
exactly.
like 10.
10
I'm
things.
struggling with 30 right now. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna wing it again. Bloodbath for sure. Archspire.
Ooh.
Undeath. Uh, Jesus Christ, it's so hard. Mastodon. Love Mastodon. Mastodon has to be there. That's 4. Cannibal Corpse. What else? Gorod. They're cool.
All right. Okay.
Gorod's fucking sick. Fulci for sure. Yeah, Fulci for sure, man. Fuck, what else?
What's good, Cross Island? How we doing?
Nice. What's that, 6?
Yes.
No, 6. All right, 4 more. Between the Bird and Me,
Ooh. Yes.
for sure. Between the Bird and Me, for sure. The Ocean. Fucking
Wow.
love The Ocean.
Wow. Okay.
The
Yeah.
Ocean is probably one of my favorites. Yeah. That actually, The Ocean trumps any of the top 5 influences now I think about it. Yeah. Take any one spot right there. The Ocean. Yeah. All right, 2 more. Man, it is hard. It is so fucking hard, guys. Sludged. They're good. 1 more. Sugar. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah. It leans very proggy there, but that's what I like. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that, dude. I dig that shit. I'm surprised you didn't say the Contortionists or like Scale of the
Fuck!
Summit or.
Forgot about
I'm
that.
sorry.
Scale the Summit. Fuck.
I wanted to be like there. I think you might. I don't know if you're a fan of them, but I think there's like this band that kind of sounds like old Between the Buried and Me a little bit, and then that's when I first listened to them. Though they're like a lot different now with the guy from Last Chance to Reason, but I still like them. Do I prefer older or newer? I'm gonna be honest. I love Exoplanet, like that album, like
Okay.
that because they have, dude, the breakdown for the song Vessel, just how it just crashes out of nowhere and just goes, you hear that like computer voice, we will be divide and or dun dun dun. And I'm like,
I'm gonna have to check
seeing
that
that live,
out.
dude. Them and they played a Slaughter Survivors tour at Amityville Music Hall. Who else played? Scale of the Summer did play too, and so did it was
Scale the Summit's so good.
it was supposed to be Volumes and Structures. One of them dropped, and then Conducting from the Grave. I forget who else. But yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. But Scale the Sun is great. Every few weeks I'll be listening to Orc Cloud on repeat.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. That's the type of music I'm like, I can't play this at all, but I can listen to it at least. So
it's enjoyable. It's like I don't play an instrument at all, but like I'll love listening to Polyphia.
okay. Yeah, they're cool. They're really cool. I like their older stuff.
I mean,
yeah,
they're just interesting to me.
oh yeah, they're super interesting.
A lot of people
I love
in Montreal
the
like
trap.
Weird.
Yeah, like that trap influence that they've adopted is really cool.
Oh yeah,
it's very different, very unique.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They always get me, but you know, and they had who I forget who was in like the new album, the song "Ego Death."
Oh,
Yeah.
Steve Vai.
Yes, thank you.
Steve
Jesus
Vai.
Christ, my memory
So
is
Long
shot.
Island right there.
Yes,
We have to know that one. Come on,
I know.
Carl Place.
Shame on me. You know, I was like a few months old of knowing where Chuck Schuldiner, and he actually lived on Long Island from death. So wait,
Yeah,
did I know that?
I just found out like a couple years ago. So like it's fine. Yeah.
Chuck was such a great player. Definitely big influence on me.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, he's really influential on my playing too. Yeah.
So Vlad, did we give you enough time?
Yeah.
No, but let's see what happens.
All right.
So, as far as I guess this best goes, I definitely bring back Neglect. I definitely put that guy on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd make Irate come back.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Um, I would have Gojira play The Way of All Flesh in full.
Hell yeah.
That's my favorite record, bar none. Bar none, my favorite record by them. I would definitely I would have a Nail Bomb reunion. Bring 200 stab wounds around, as well as Tribal Gaze.
Oh, it's so good. Oh,
That's 7.
yeah.
What else would I do? Jesus. I put Botch on there.
Yeah.
Love me some Botch.
Hell yeah.
Number 9, I would probably bring. You know what? I'm gonna throw some in the Plague up there too.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Vinny,
Fucking
shout
love
out
Triangle.
Vinny Grillo.
Love those guys.
They're so
Always a good time
good.
seeing those
We're playing
guys.
with this other band in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that in a second. So I'll throw some in the Plague, and for number 10, who would I put at number 10? Holy shit. Oh my god. There's got to be something. There's got to be something. Dead Body.
Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck, forgot about that.
Dead fucking Body.
Dude, so good.
They were fantastic at that that was that Sarcosuchus show, right? Yeah. At
AMH.
That
With Cruelty.
Yes. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die during Cruelty.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm glad to see them like blowing up. They got on that Dying Fetus Full of Hell tour with 200 stab wounds. Like, yo, good for them, man. You know.
It's true.
I'm surprised, Vlad, like with like being a fan of Dead Guy, that like you never my opinion, I would have said I are any of you a fan of Converge?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't listened to them as much as I should. Like I've heard what I've liked. It's just there's so many other things in rotation that I just forget to check them out and like do an actual deep dive.
Yeah, I've yet to get into it. They're like one of those bands where like I keep trying.
I like the early to mid 2000s material. Jane Doe's a classic. Petitioning the Empty Sky is great as well. No More Heroes, like that stuff is good. Some of their newest stuff hasn't like totally grabbed my attention, admittedly. So I kind of have like my Converge era, if that makes sense.
But you said petitioning. You said petitioning. Color me fucking blood red, bud. Dude, fuck. Like, you have no idea. Like, I am a big. My whole influences range is very weird, and as like I have the whole metalcore era, and as I would say, golden era. This is just my opinion. 2002 to 2005 or 6, however you figure it. Bands like Remembering Never, Dead to Fall, Embrace the End, fucking the Red Chord, then there's Converge, Dillinger, that whole thing, Poison the Well that I draw from. And then I draw from Slam. So I love like either it's metalcore or like Slam or just panic chordy or then even melodic metalcore as like one of my favorite bands that is melodic would be Misery Signals. Oh, where the fuck did Dylan go?
Uh-oh.
He'll come
Someone
back.
didn't have a stable connection.
Unless his phone died. Hopefully it didn't.
I had my money on Skylar's phone dying first.
Damn.
Yeah, my battery's pretty
Hey,
bad.
it's all right. Yesterday, my phone died during the interview yesterday with
Oh
Ralph.
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
I came back on the live. I was like, no, 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 no. And then today I'm like going through it and I go in my archives. I'm like, it's there.
Ooh,
It cut off at that point, obviously, but it's there. And then I finished the second part. So I can obviously like I said before earlier, put a part one up and a part two after I post this
that's
one.
good at least.
Oh yeah, I was like, I felt so bad. Like those dudes in Realms, they're really solid dudes. They were really cool guys. It was very good conversation. I was like, no, I feel so bad, and I'm happy that I caught it. Um, since we're way more than halfway through, usually I ask this halfway through. At least both of you guys are still on. So let me ask you both this: Who do you think would do well, or who would you want to see on this podcast? Does not have to be a musician, does not have to be a local band either. So, it could be somebody that has a passion of any sort, local band, national act, whatever you want it to be. And we got Dylan back.
Be back?
Yep. 1, 2. I hit the accept button and the red dot. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
Now you're next to me and he's down there. Switch up. All right.
Phone overheated. Shit
Yeah.
happens.
It's all right. It's all good. So Dylan, I just asked everybody, who do you think would do well, or who would you want to see on this podcast?
doing an interview.
To interview. Oh, easy. The ocean. Anyone from the ocean. That'd be sick.
Trying to figure out if I hit him
Yeah.
yet or tried. I don't know yet, but I'll go for it.
Like there's any one of them, but like either Loic, the vocalist, or Robin, the guitar player, Robin Stapp or Tap, something like that. He's like the main composer. I would
Right.
love to see what he has to say.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you've had him yet, but I think Chris McCarthy from Internal Bleeding would be kind of dope if you haven't had him already.
How many times have I had him on the podcast? I have had him, but it's
You have
more than once, like twice, 3 times. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yes.
Let me see if I can think of somebody you haven't had then. Damn, I was confident with that answer.
Damn it.
Oh, there goes
Honestly,
Dylan.
Dylan! Oh my
Well,
god, this guy. If you could have anybody on this podcast. Have you had the raid guys before? Because they might be kind of fun.
yes.
You've had them. Jesus Christ! How long have you been around? How long has a trash culture been a thing?
I started this when I like it was during the pandemic. I was bouncing around and shit, and ended up back on Long Island. And Oscar from Gooned Up Nerds, he had equipment when this used to be topic based, which that was 2020. Started 2021 doing those episodes. 2020, either 2021, 2022, somewhere. I think 2021, summer of 2021. I think. I'm not entirely sure, dude. I'd have to scroll all the way back. I did a count. I think I'm up to 160 something interviews.
Wow.
I'm yeah, I was doing like Monday through Friday, like double headers, and sometimes even 3, and then I was wondering why I was burnt out.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, Vlad, this is a shot in the dark. Would your dad do an interview?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he would.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to him for you if you'd like.
Oh yeah, that would be really awesome because that'd be really cool.
An interview would be sick.
Yeah.
I got you, man. I
Hell
got you
yeah.
on that.
All right. Awesome.
Keith Huckins would be
Skyler.
fun. Keith Huckins would be fun as well from Dead Guy.
Oh, dude.
I can
Yes.
help you with that too, I think.
He's a character,
I
man.
heard
That would be fun.
I heard about that. Funny thing. One of my buddies, who was my old roommate, he's like, so Vlad, so one of Vlad's family members of Sarcosuchus is in Dead Guy, and I told him, I just messaged him. I'm like, because I know it's one of his favorite bands. So I'm like, did you fan out? He's like, no, I tried so hard not to, because he's been trying to see Dead Guy for like a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he literally, I think he discovered like when I first moved out here, and like we just started like, living together. It was just like, he's like, oh man, this band Dead Guy, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Dead Guy, they used to have like the fucking like pentagram, and it said in red Dead Guy back in the day. That shirt was actually dope.
Was it the Death to False Metal shirts?
I think so.
That's
Yeah,
badass.
yeah. I remember why, because I remember because I got in the music to the Long Island music scene in 2004, and then before that, like I bought like the Hellfest 2003 and 2002 DVD, and I saw a few people wearing like Dead Guy shirts like that.
I have the speaking of Hellfest, I have the Bad Luck 13 DVD, and there's a couple people in Dead Guy shirts at Hellfest 2004. And how foretelling to what would eventually happen at that little show that they had.
Dude, wait. How did you get that one? How did you get '04? I can't find that one.
So it's actually a Bad Luck 13 DVD that they put out, and it has that footage on it. It's not actual like Hellfest.
Damn it.
Sorry, dude.
I was because like I remember being in high school and then hearing about that and like seeing the whole like the whole flyer for it and everything, the lineup, and I'm like, fuck. And then I was waiting for the DVD to come out. It never came out, and then I heard about that whole thing with Bad Luck 13, and I'm like, fuck.
Is there a reason?
Dude, they used to go under different aliases and names because venues would like, they would be like blackballed from any venue.
I can't imagine why.
Well, yeah, right?
And dude, you know what? Not for nothing. As much as I love what they're doing, Clock Tower's headed towards the same way if they keep doing that shit.
It's yeah.
I hope they don't get blackballed, but their shows get pretty wild.
Yeah. I remember like just hearing like when I was younger, hearing about Bad Luck shows like, oh, people have like barbed wire bats and will hit you with razor blades. Somebody threw like a bunch of tacks into the crowd, and I'm like, fuck. And I just watched the video, and I'm like, this is fuck, dude.
Yeah. Bad Luck shows are legitimate ECW matches, minus the scripted parts.
Yeah, that's very valid. So I have a question, two questions for you guys left. So the first one is for anybody that wants to start, whether it's music, be an artist, open a business, follow their dream and or their passion. What advice could you give them?
I'll go first because I might drop out again.
That'd be wise.
Yeah. Honestly, like the only thing that's ever worked for me, it's the cheesiest one. It's just never give up. Super cheesy, but like you just have to keep believing in yourself to do it. Because if you don't actually believe that, it's not really gonna work. Like it has to be your plan A. Like whatever it is. Like if it's not your plan A, like don't do it.
All right.
That's pretty simple. Learned that the hard way.
We always do. You always have to have hope, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people just get down and out in that, and Anybody else has an answer for that? Or
I'd say start off, definitely, keep the passion, keep working for it, but also set achievable goals along the way to really give yourself the momentum rather than just, I just want to do one big thing, but I have no idea how to get there. Plan along the way and how you're going to get there. Because,
Yeah, that helps.
it's so rare to just go right to the top or right to the end goal because there's so much between the start and the end goal.
Oh, yeah.
Really, yeah, put in the work and set realistic goals and be passionate.
All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I would kind of say something along the same thing, just like start small, and take your baby steps. Don't try and take the biggest bite you can.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else and I totally forgot. You know what? The other thing I would say is, because this just comes from myself. If if you feel like you have the means and the passion to do multiple things, then do it. A lot of people will tell you, oh, you got to pick one thing and just roll with it. And for some people, that's true. But for some people, it's not true. Like you can do like a ton of things if you can manage it. Be in a band, have the cool job that you want. Take little weird side things here and there. Uh, sometimes my studio job calls me away to go do video shoots instead of being in the recording studio. I'm always down to do that type of stuff. Just be everywhere. Be everywhere. Like make yourself noticed and undeniable. Like everywhere you look, be seen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And not like in a clout chasing way, but like a genuine like helping out way that like
Yeah.
you contributed to something, not just I was seen with this person. Like that's not going to get you anywhere, man. I got this. I was seen with this person. I was hanging out with. No, just be everywhere and be meaningful about it. That's really what I would say.
Be
Good one.
genuine.
Good point.
Yeah.
Another thing would be to not get too discouraged by minor setbacks because progress isn't always going to be linear.
That's true.
It's just
That's a
a
very
fact of
good
life
point.
that there are going to be setbacks at some points. You just got to roll with it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. Like in life, we're all going to have setbacks.
Yeah.
In life, we're going to have every setback. And a lot of people see it as, well, fuck. In a whole combination with what you guys said, basically, like, Dylan, to have hope. And that's the one parter of it. And I get what you mean, Vlad, it's not a cloud chasing thing. It's you want to be seen everywhere. You're trying to promote yourself. It's not selfless promotion, whatever, dude. You're
Mm-hmm.
not doing it to be like, oh look at me, oh look at me, oh look at me. Like it's and you don't get discouraged when there's a little bit of a setback. You got to go, all right, what can I do next? And that was good. My next question for you guys now is, for anybody, whether it's like it be anxiety, it be depression, it be going through hardships, or it's a dark period of time and they can't really, see a way, what wise words of wisdom would you give them to turn their mental state around?
It's a hard one, man.
That's
Because
now
It's a good question, but
he's a
difficult to find an answer
philosophizer.
to.
Yeah.
Now he's getting all philosophical on us. I guess
I don't
from
know.
my point of view, and this doesn't work for everybody, so it's kind of hard to answer. Like when I face like funks and all that stuff, I just kind of keep going with what it is I'm doing. Got to wake up at 8, go to work at go to work, do studio stuff. Just live your life and either distract yourself or, just like take a mental break, do whatever it is you need to do otherwise, and then come back to it when you're a little more clean mind. Because, if you're just like sitting there like, oh my God, this is everything, you're never going to solve the issue. you really just have to like step back and, weigh your options. And if you start to feel panicky, just like, walk away for 5 minutes, come back to it and be like, okay, what are the possible solutions to this thing? Like, you're just got to look at whatever's going on, logically, and not without emotion, but like kind of put emotion to the side, because the minute you start letting the anxiety take over, that's it. You can't think about anything else. You're just going to be all in your head. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For example, we just played Chaos and Carnage in Liverpool, New York, Cattle to Cap, Carnifex, all that shit. And we had a drummer lined up for like months. He was learning everything. And then his job called and was like, hey, we kind of need you that day, actually. So, I'll admit there was a whole lot of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
but,
for 2 weeks, we were just, holy shit.
Panicking.
Yeah.
Probably about the scariest 2 weeks in this band's existence.
Holy shit.
But, we stepped back. We were like, all right, what are our options? And really, we just started calling drummers left and right. Most everybody said no until a familiar face named Jordan Mamaluke stepped up. And he really saved our asses with that show. He learned the set in less than 2 weeks on 3 practices, and everything ended up being okay. We had a pretty decent show, and we played that crazy ass fest. So that's kind of it, really. It's if you're facing all that, just kind of step back, weigh out your options, and then cautiously, but with force, go at it. That's all I got.
Awesome.
Yeah, that pretty much answers it, really. I guess on my end, and I still struggle to find the answer for this personally. Just don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's a big one. And like for me, like it took me personally years to like open up. And like my friends know me, I'm a pretty open guy. Like I can talk about anything, but I wasn't always like that. I was pretty closed off growing up, and it took me a while to learn that, like, if you're not talking about it with the people that you trust, and like whether it be family or friends, like, you don't have to do it alone.
What's the point?
Like going through whatever. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, know who you're talking to too. You can't just tell anyone either.
Yeah, don't do that.
You can't just tell anyone. Some people aren't as kind. But that's what's helped me. And honestly, what Vlad said earlier, got to distract yourself and all that jazz. Routine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say to find something to ideally give yourself something like an outlet to really pour those negative emotions into it and get them out of you. And if you can't do that, at least find some sort of distraction or something to look forward to eventually bring you out. Because obviously, it's never going to be quick and or easy. It's always a whole process. It's hard to get rid of, but there's always going to be something to bring you out at some point.
Oh, yeah. Just
Hard.
I was going through something like that for the past few months. So it's everything you guys said. Just have a routine. You gotta catch yourself on those spirals though. You have to pay attention. Be like, all right, I'm doing this. But always handle it. But everything you guys said was beautifully said. So that was good. That was awesome. You guys have any shout outs you want to give?
I think we kind of sprinkled a lot of them in, but shout out Roots of Deception. They're on tour right now. We're playing a show with Burrito Bowel, which is Vinny Grillo, Jordan Mamaluke. Those guys playing a show with them. Shout out. Marvel Decay. What else do we got? Shout out Exigent. That Depravity Concept is a year old. That show was
It
completely
was a fun
wild.
show.
That was a
It
fun.
really was a fun show. It was a great show. It's a great
Yeah.
show. Shout out Mange, Mark Milani. What's good, bro? There's a lot.
Yeah.
What
Shout out
watch?
Soul Bet. That's my other project. They've been around since 2020. They're from Jersey. They're good guys. More of a proggy, deathcore tech vibe. Just check them out. Yeah. What else? Shout out. Well, I'm in Philly right now. I gotta shout out the local bands here. Concrete Caveman's dope. What else? Shout out. Well, someone to play. We said earlier, but
Yep.
we have to say shout out to them. Shout out to Black Sun.
Yeah,
Black
baby.
Sun, Long Island metalcore boys. I'm blanking right now. Just playing.
Shout out Justin Velez. Shout out Cross Island Connect. Sam from Cross Island. Well, I think we've covered, just about all of them. There's so many. So, but
Shout
Oh,
out Bird No Light.
Farsight, man. They're on tour too. Yeah,
We love
those are the
Farsight.
homeboys right there.
Yep. Yo, we should. I really want to play that closing Sam Ash and Carl place with them. Just
that would be
Oh,
so.
dude, that'd be sick.
send it off.
Yeah.
Well, hold up. There's a show like in the set.
No, I want to like put that together, like in the final days of Sam Ash and Carl Place, because that's where we met the Dijons.
Okay.
That's where we
Yeah.
met. Well, it's where I met them. So I think it would
Same.
just be fitting that we play a show in the Sam Ash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It'll never happen.
Hey man,
I wish.
like you said before, hope, bro.
Right.
But
All right.
you guys have anything to say for the viewers watching right now?
Honestly, I guess the only things we have to say are if you're willing to come to Connecticut, we're playing June 1st at the Beer Rex in East Haven. We got Marvel Decay, Intrusive, Burrito Bowel on the bill. But honestly, just thanks for being here. It means a
Yeah.
lot to all of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Well guys, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having
No
us.
problem.
Thank you so much.
No, anytime, guys. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of Trash Culture Podcast. I will be back on Wednesday at 9 p.m. with the creator of Slumber Party and Teddy Cuddles. Should be interesting. I've gotten a couple directors on here now, kind of horror movie wise. It's getting pretty cool. And
Cool.
Thursday we'll have horror themed hip hop artist Poltergeist. Stay tuned for that as well. I'll see you guys Wednesday. And like always, until next time, everybody, stay trashy.